Hi everyone, this is Megzobo69 with Take the Red Pill. So far we've gone through the whole first part of the introduction of the debate, and now we've gone through the question and answers. We're going to start on video number 7 because we've gone through number 1 through 6 already. So it should be interesting, and let's see what more this theist Lamont Map has to say.
Question number 7 is for Lamont. If we are all born atheists, how can you believe in an invisible man in the sky?
Well, I can't say that we are all born atheists because that's not true. Babies do not have the concept of believing or not believing. What I can say is babies are born not believers. They do not believe in anything. And again, they don't not believe in something, but they don't believe in anything either. What ends up happening is further down in life, your parents or something ends up indoctrinating you into a certain religious dogma. So it should be interesting to see what kind of answers we're going to get from Lamont on this one.
If we were all born atheists, we're not born atheists. To be atheist is to disbelieve in God. You're born neutral on that subject. And God either reveals himself to you or does not.
Wow. Well, I can say there was one thing that he finally said that I do agree with. We are born neutral. Nobody's born atheist, or nobody's born a believer or a theist. However, God does not reveal himself to anybody. It's an imaginary story, just like Superman, that you're told and you end up believing because everybody else believes it. Well, so many other people believe it anyway. And so you know, eventually kids end up believing it. But no, there's no such thing as God reveals himself. Garbage.
I wish that I could reveal God to you. Apologetics doesn't work. I had to figure that out. Science doesn't help. What I know about science, which is to say very little.
Well, that part I 100% agree with. Very little that he does know about science. He already proved that with a lot of the statements he made concerning evolution and so many other things. So yes, I definitely do agree with that part right there.
What I know about philosophy, none of that stuff helps. God has to reveal himself to you. So we're not born atheists at all. And sufficiently answered that question. I wanted to touch on is 100% human, 100% God, and that's an inconsistency. It's not an inconsistency. I actually had a conversation with John Lennox. He talked to me. He's a bioethicist. He said this. I'll try to do my best Lennox accent. He said, Lamont, God, Jesus, was God wrapped in flesh. It's not logically inconsistent because if you take your cell phone and dip it in peanut butter and take it out of the peanut butter, you have 100% cell phone wrapped in 100% peanut butter.
Yeah, that's exactly how those people in the background were clapping. Like those toy monkeys you see with those with the symbols. Yeah. Anyway, he's appealing to authority. That's all he's doing. Just because this guy was a scientist and turned around and made a comment, apparently that guy is a believer in God, or he's a theist anyway, one way or another. Doesn't mean that it's true. So let's see what other things he has to say. But first, we're going to listen to what Jason has to say right now.
Alright, he's good. 100% God, 100% human. The problem with that is that humans by definition are imperfect. By definition, God is perfect. So you can't have something that's perfect and imperfect at the same time.
I totally agree with Jason. I mean, when you look at the Bible or any other theistic group, they would tell you that God is perfect. So to say that he's also human and humans are imperfect, we definitely know this, is logically inconsistent. You cannot be perfect and imperfect at the same time. Because if you are perfect and there's one type of flaw or one type of imperfection or something where you can make a mistake, then that totally negates the fact that you can be perfect.
Okay. Okay, so we're all born atheists. I agree with him that we're all born neutral, I guess would be the best way to say it. And the thing is that what is unique and what's interesting to observe is that you look at the geography of the world and you find out, wow, if I live here and if I'm born here, I'm most likely going to grow up to be this person. If I'm born here, I'm going to grow up to be this person. And if I'm born in America, boom, I'm going to be a Christian. So shouldn't that make, I'm not saying that that is proof one way or another, but I'm saying that that should make us very skeptical of our own religion and our own faith, when so much of the world is based upon geography, about where we were born. So that's why I think that we need to remain neutral, and we need to be especially skeptical when we find that the Christianity or the faith that we adhere to is the one that is generally accepted by our own societies.
You know, Jason definitely has a valid point. I'm sure a lot of people have heard the saying of you're a product of your own environment. So although it's not precisely proven to be 100% correct, but the good chances are if you live in a certain area and the society follows a certain path, there's a good chance that that's the same path you will follow. I mean, if you were born in, let's say, England, and you live in a town where it's all mainly Catholics, well, there's a good chance that you will grow up as a Catholic. If you grow up in the South, let's say, maybe Georgia, and a lot of the people are like, let's say, Baptist, well, there's a good chance that you'll be Baptist. I mean, that's just the way it is. You are the company you keep. I mean, it just goes along the same lines of being a product of your environment. What ends up happening is, a lot of people do get skeptical of things that they've learned growing up, and they start to question things, and that's, skepticism, the true application of skepticism, that is, will and can lead to atheism. Because if you're a skeptic and you question everything, you will start to find answers. You will start to also find questions that cannot be answered by the typical theist or by the creationist, and you will come to see conflicting stories with these theistic claims. So, yeah, I totally agree with what Jason said.
I really don't have much more to say.
Well, quite frankly, what he was saying in the first place wasn't much to begin with, so we're really not missing out on much.
He said that humans, by definition, are imperfect. I would like to know the dictionary that he's using.
Okay, so he does not have much of a defense, so I guess his only alternative is to play semantics. He knows good and well that when Jason said by definition, he did not mean definition as in from a dictionary. He meant people know, the average person knows that humans are imperfect. I mean, come on, really?
Vodi Bakum, he's a great apologist and traveling speaker. He was born in Harlem, I think it was New York somewhere, a very rough place. And he was born to a Buddhist mother, raised in a Buddhist family, and found Christ. Ravi Zacharias, the #1 apologist in the world, the most sought-after apologist in the world, was born in India with parents who were Hindu. He is now a Christian apologist, one of the best in the world. Islam, it's being reported right now that Islamic priests are having dreams and visions about Jesus and are coming to Christ as a result of that. Not only that, but the idea that where you're born determines where you land philosophically or religiously doesn't do anything to the argument that God has to exist, theism is true, or anything like that. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, well, first of all, these people are not apologists, they are apologetics. There's a difference. And then so he decided to sit there and name a few people who were famous apologetics, or who came from Hinduism or other Buddhists and convert to Christianity. And he even went as far to saying now that there's some Islamic imams who have had dreams about Christianity, about Jesus Christ, and converted to Christianity. Who cares? So what? What does that prove? I mean, there are people who leave one faith and go to another. It happens all the time. You have a lot of people who leave Christianity and go to Islam. Heck, it happened to me. You got a lot of people who leave Christianity and go to Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, you name it. People are crossing faiths all the time. That proves nothing. What needs to be proven is, first of all, does a God really exist? Because bottom line, what's happening is people are leaving one story and going to another story. Leaving one fable, going to another. It proves nothing whatsoever. Anyway, these are the type of things, again, that we see coming forth from this, I almost said apologetics, coming from this theist, Lamont Map. And I see a lot of these type of arguments coming from theists in general. Not all of them, again, but a lot of them. And so, logic and reason seems to be totally out of the picture. So, after we finish these series, with the question and answers, I will jump back on other topics concerning regular Christianity and the Bible and theism as a whole. So until next time, this is Megzable69. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.